agree with you. I'm definitely going to – I just can't find myself picking Jameis Winston after that stinker they put up last week. I'm trying to think of ways they could actually pull this off. They could pull it off. If Jameis
Here's the
Winston doesn't throw
thing.
interceptions, they definitely have a chance.
The only way that I would bet for Tampa is if I'm expecting them to do a backdoor cover, which could possibly happen because Jameis does like to throw it around. He does sling it. But my thing is, you know what he's going to do. He puts the ball in tough places. And Carolina, they looked good against the Rams, and the fact that a couple mental errors and a couple little things fall their way, they win that game. And I think DJ Moore is going to have a great game. I think, how are they going to stop Christian McCaffrey? And plus, they have Gerald McCoy telling them everything. I don't see how Carolina doesn't win by 14.
Yeah, I almost talked myself into this is the game Jameis. I already know it. Whatever happens, it's going to go opposite. I'm sticking with the Panthers, but I know that I picked the Panthers. Jameis is going to have probably one of his best games as a pro. He's going to go nuts to Mike Evans, to OJ Howard.
Like 5 touchdowns, 2 picks, throws the ball 54 times.
I think he's going to have a good game. I think he's going to have a good game, and I think they have a chance to win just because I picked the Panthers. All right. Let's get to the Sunday slate. I'm still calling them San Diego. The San Diego Superchargers, 2.5-point favorite at Detroit. Do you want me to start or you want to start?
You got it.
I'm actually leaning towards picking Detroit. For one, I didn't think the Chargers looked very good last week. The defense wasn't as good. They don't have Derwin James. I think Patricia's going to find a way to stop Eckler. I think they're going to figure that out. But San Diego's still a much better team. I want to say Detroit, but I'm sticking with the Chargers.
You know what's funny? I was kind of thinking in a similar way too. The only reason I'm going to go Chargers as well, the Los Angeles Chargers.
San Diego.
The reason why I'm going to do that is, there's no way Detroit, if they're winning late in the game, there's no way they don't just let the Chargers back in the game. Like, there's no way they don't. This Detroit team is a team that is going to play well, and they're not going to win any games.
We'll see. I'm interested to see what Detroit does. I want to see what they do. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they could.
No, me neither. I thought T.J. Hawkinson, really looks like a piece.
I want to see what they got to get Kerryon more involved with the. They got to get him successful with the offense if they're going to be successful.
Well, they have to. Yeah.
He had the touches, I think, last week. I think he had like 17 to 20 carries. He just didn't do anything.
They just got a lot of that guy is a piece. Oh, that guy is good. Oh, that guy can do something. They don't have a lot of game changers, though.
They got a lot of good pieces around Matt Stafford.
All right. I'll be honest with you. Next one we're doing is Indy at Tennessee. Tennessee's got a 3-point favorite, which is just they get the home team cover, or the home team favorite.
I think they should be a favorite after last week, and I think just based on talent wise, I think they should be a favorite.
This scares me because I feel like we play Indy after we have like a good game. We'll have a good game, and then we'll play Indy, and they'll just fuck us up. Mm-hmm. I mean, truly, their defense owned us last season, and their defense hasn't changed at all. You saw it. Marlon Mack, I think, will be able to key in better on them, but their offensive line is dangerous. They're tough. At least we're aware of it now. I don't think we're quite aware of it. We definitely weren't aware of it in that Week 10 matchup or whatever it was last year, where they beat us like 35-3. Mm-hmm. I have to say Tennessee because I can't just not say Tennessee. Mm-hmm. But I will say I don't feel great about this game.
Matt, if I know anything about your franchise and Mike Vrabel, they don't come off big wins well. They're probably the worst team to come off a win.
It's true.
They don't play Indy well. They never play the Colts well.
That's also true.
I'm going Indianapolis just for that fact. I think Marlon Mack's going to. Yeah. I think the Colts are just going to dominate the time of possession, unless Tennessee is a different team this year and they figure that out, which would be an amazing thing for the Titans. I'm just going to go based on recency bias and history against the Colts, taking Indianapolis to cover, and they'll probably win. It's a 3-point spread, so most likely win. But I'm taking the Colts to cover.
The only thing I will say
mm-hmm.
is for a fact that Tennessee is not overlooking Indy.
I don't think they're overlooking them, but I don't know.
So
it's just like Indy has the number.
Well, yeah, and I mean by that, Tennessee wants to get a win. They need to get this monkey off their back. So that's the only thing I will say is Tennessee wants to get a win so bad.
This is a Week 17 revenge match.
I truly think this is a running back contest. Who does better? Whoever has more total yards between Marlon Mack and Derrick Henry, I think that team will win.
Yeah, I think it comes down to time of possession and turnovers. 100%.
All right.
If you don't let Marlon Mack beat you and you force Jacoby Brissett to beat you, I think you're in good shape. But we'll see if you can stop him. I don't know if I trust your... How do you feel about the rush defense?
You know what? I love Jarrell Casey. I think he's great. I think Rashaan Evans needs to step up and have a big game because Jayon Brown's really a coverage guy, but Jayon Brown can step up and make plays too. Daquan Jones is going to have to. We just are going to have people. You can't create a hole. If you don't have to get penetration, but you can't create a hole. You got to fall down. You got to create chaos.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I actually do I'm kind of thinking you guys are going to win this game now. I'm changing my whole opinion, but I'm sticking with the Colts because we've agreed with each other the whole way through, so why not? All right, this next game, Cowboys 5-point favorite at Washington. This is an easy one, Matt. Cowboys are going to win by like 50 points. This is a lock. This is your lock. Lock it in. Cowboys by 1,000,000. The Trent Williams isn't going to play. Another offensive lineman for the Redskins is hurt. Zeke's got he's got an actual full week of practice.
Darius Geis is out.
You got to be worried about Adrian Peterson. Come on. And Case Keenum. Come on. Cowboys by a lot. This is a lock.
You know what? I kind of want to pick Washington here.
Go ahead. It's not even going to be close.
So Washington, because they're a surprising team. They crept up on Eagles. It's
an NFC East battle, yeah.
Look, Case Keenum, I mean, he's like this. He's perpetually going from, oh, wow, how is he starting in this league, to, oh, look at Case Keenum. Oh, wow, he can put up some numbers on you. Vernon Davis, I just think. You saw, okay, did you not see his run?
Yeah, that one play.
He's jumping over guys. He's acting like he's 25.
Matt, when you got to hype yourself up on Case Keenum and Vernon Davis, I think you're in trouble.
I'm going to go Dallas, and the only reason I'm going to go Dallas is I really believe in your offense now. And I've never believed in Dallas's offense before.
I believe in this whole team. This whole team's phenomenal. All right. You got this next game. Minnesota at Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers favored by 3 in the not-so-frozen tundra. I bet it'll be pretty hot this weekend. Matt, who you got?
I'm going to go Minnesota.
Oh, damn it. That's who I want. We can't keep agreeing.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was pretty similar to each way. The reason why I'm going to go Minnesota, I'm not completely sold on Matt LaFleur's offense. I saw him all last year at Tennessee, and people were saying, oh, well, Tennessee was holding them back. Well, we scored 43 points in our first game without him as our OC. So I don't know if that's necessarily true, that we were necessarily holding them back. I get that we don't have as many weapons as other people. Mm-hmm. This Minnesota team, though, I mean, they have a great defense, and they kind of figured it out. Run the ball. You got Dalvin Cook. You know, you just gotta pound the ball. You gotta make him make your plays, and then you just need Kirk Cousins to find Adam Thielen in the end zone one time. I think they know the recipe for success.
I think this Minnesota team. I was gonna pick the Minnesota team 100%. I just kind of changed my opinion just to kind of be different,
contrarian,
be a little contrarian. But I do think I would, if you're smart, I'd probably go with the Vikings just based on what I saw with their secondary last week. But if anyone could beat this secondary, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
It's in Lambeau. Home opener. I'm going to go with the Pack. The Pack are going to take it by at least 3. The over-under is like 44 points. I think that's kind of ridiculously low.
Hammer that under.
You're going under with that? I'm going over.
44 points? The Packers scored 10 last week. The Vikings want to win 17-10.
This is a different defense. I think Green Bay's going to... I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make the plays he needs. I wouldn't lock in that over, but I'm actually getting more confident Green Bay is going to win this game and cover. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, he does it at home. It's going to be a bad showing for Minnesota. I don't think it's going to be a good showing. Don't like Kirk Cousins going against Aaron Rodgers. Terrible matchup. Packers going to shut down that offense. Packers.
All right, you like that?
I don't like that pick, but whatever. All right, this one, Seattle at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's coming off that garbage showing. Seattle's coming off a garbage showing. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I think the Seattle team's really bad. I don't think Pittsburgh is as bad as we saw last week. I think Belichick just had a great defensive system going against that offensive line. Made them really uncomfortable. T.J. Watt couldn't get anything going. I think Pittsburgh's going to blow the doors off Seattle. Ben Roethlisberger's going to find those receivers. James Conner's going to find a way to have a good game. He's not going to have anything like that last week. Pittsburgh by 9. 9. Pittsburgh by 9.
Wow, okay. I'm going to go Seattle to cover. I think that they probably, the Bengals, they probably thought that they could just waltz in there. They weren't really ready. Here's the other thing, too. With the Bengals, you just didn't know what you were getting. New head coach, new system, all this stuff. You just didn't know what you were getting. I felt like Seattle just got a little frazzled, and they found themselves back late. I think they're going to try to get on Pittsburgh early. They know what they're getting. They know it's, you got Smith-Schuster, you got to cover. You got James Washington going deep. You got to keep James Conner from being a bell cow. And you got to make Ben Roethlisberger feel your presence. They know that that's what they need to do, and I think they're going to get on him early, and they're going to try to get their run game a little more dominant. They're going to try to get Chris Carson the ball a little bit more, and Rashawn Penny running the ball. They're going to try to dominate the game that way because they fell behind against Cincy. All right, I'm going to keep going.
I got one more take. I got one more take for that last game.
Yeah.
Seattle won last week. This is a must-win for Pittsburgh. There's another reason to hammer Pittsburgh.
And it's in Pittsburgh. I understand.
Hammer.
Seattle won, but do you think it feels like a win to them?
Yeah, it's just 1-0 in this. No, I know what you mean, but yeah, it's 1-0 in the record book.
I think that's one of those where you win and you're like, oh no, we got to be better.
I agree with that. That's the best win you can have because those are the ones that scare you and say, all right, you got to come back next. You got to
we escaped. We gotta do our job early. All right, let's keep going. I don't know. I think we're gonna have the same. We might be different on this one.
So Arizona at Baltimore. Baltimore is a favorite, 13.5. Go ahead.
I'm going Cardinals on this one.
Okay.
Baltimore is pushing, 13.5 points because let's be honest, the Dolphins are hardly even a team. They're a team where literally every single one of their players were like, "Hey, get me the fuck out of here." They don't want to be there. And Arizona, I feel like, on top of they kind of figured it out with Kyler Murray. They know he's a guy they can trust. And here's the thing: this Baltimore defense I think this Baltimore defense is a lot worse than they were last year. And they kind of need to rely on their defense a little bit. So they are a lot worse than they were last year. It just didn't show against Miami because Miami's not good. So I think Kyler Murray and Fitz and Christian Kirk, I think they're going to light it up. And I'm thinking we get fourth quarter Kyler Murray, not first 3 quarters Kyler Murray.
This is what I'm thinking. This Ravens team, they're consistent every year. Great locker room, great presence. They're your team. They're your team. You know what you're going to get from the Ravens. They might not have the same defense they've had of years past. But this is a veteran group that you do not want to face as a rookie. The Ravens are going to run through Arizona. Lamar Jackson's going to have another big game, and people are going to be praising the Ravens. They're like, this could be one of the favorites in the AFC. Don't take that too much. I'm taking the Edgar Allan pose. They're going to kill it. The Ravens by 13.5. I think that's pretty much it's not a lock. It's not a lock. It's definitely not a lock. It's a lock that they win. They're going to cover. They're going to win by 17. I'm taking the Edgar Allan pose.
All right.
I got the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Jacksonville at Houston, 8.5. I'm taking Houston, and here's why. Last week we saw Gardner Minshew. Big game. Good game. 22 for 25-ish.